What's up YouTube, Race Nation TV here, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over the 2020 IndyCar Series Paint Schemes, or liveries what they're technically called. This is a type of video I've seen done on the NASCAR side of things a couple of times, but never on the IndyCar side. I decided let's try it out so you can get a good look of what the field's going to look like next week at St. Pete and what this year's IndyCar liveries look like. So let's get started off with an easy one. We got Team Penske. Let's start with Joseph Newgarden. We're going to do the teams and then go by numerical order. So we have Joseph Newgarden in the number 1 this year, defending the 1. Here's his Hitachi car, which is exactly the same as last year. Team Penske don't have a lot of new liveries each year. They kind of like to keep it the same, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way you build a brand. But the one key difference to all these liveries this year is the Aero screen and how they've adapted their livery to the Aero screen. So it's kind of interesting on how they've done that. So one thing with Penske you'll notice is all of the cars have the last name of each driver on the top of the Aero screen, kind of like how NASCAR did it back in the day, or back in 2013 when they first started with the names on the windshield banners. So that's not the only Joseph Newgarden livery that we see right now. We also have his Expel car that will run at the GP of Indy and Texas. I don't really care for it kind of brings back Penske truck rental vibes. Then again, Simon Pagenaud did run a Penske truck rental car last year at Pocono. So, yeah, it definitely gives me those vibes. Needs a blue to make that happen. But, I mean, I'm not a fan of the yellow and white car. But definitely something new and different. Power's car going to be exactly the same as it has been since around 2016 in the Verizon car. Definitely can't complain, though. It would be weird to not see that silver Verizon car. And it's definitely a very underrated livery, in my opinion. I think the silver is actually a very nice car. I know a lot of people get bored with these, but it's like, I don't know, you can recognize it every year and you know exactly who is driving that car from the livery, and we're always going to remember Will Power in a silver car or a black and red car for that matter. So I think that's quite a blast from the past and something very cool. So next we got the defending Indy 500 champion Simon Pagenaud in his Menards car. I couldn't find anything on what races he'll run. He's also running a DXC car. I'm trying to find what that looks like, but I mean, if it looks anything like the other Penske cars and what it's looked like in the past, it's going to be exactly the same too. Like I said here, the only difference with these liveries is the name on top of the Aero screen, which is a thing only Penske is doing. Next, we got Chip Ganassi Racing. We're just going to start out with the big 3 here. A new entry for this year, something very exciting to look forward to next week in St. Petersburg. Marcus Ericsson in the number 8 Husky Chocolate Honda. Marcus Ericsson in the red Husky Chocolate car. I love the mountains on the side of this car. It's a very nice red. I can't wait to try some Husky Chocolate. Hopefully I can find some of that in the paddock at some point this year. Just moving on, next up we got Scott Dixon in the PNC car. Same livery as it's been, but they kind of incorporated the PNC logo onto the Aero screen, which looks pretty alright. It looks pretty good actually. Then we have Felix Rosenqvist changing it up this year in the black NT Data car. I know a lot of people are going to love this car, and I'm a fan of it, but I think the silver and blue, and then the different tones of blue on the car, I'm going to miss that too much to really truly enjoy this car. Man, that silver on the NTT Data car looked amazing. But now we're going flat black for NTT Data this year, which is an interesting choice, an interesting look, but excited to see that black number 10 get out on track. Speaking of continued liveries, we have Andretti Autosport, and starting right up, we got Zach Beach in the Gainbridge Honda. Same livery as last year. I got the Bahamian colors on the front wing, of course, so I know my buddy Drayton's going to love that. But yeah, Zach Beach in the same Gainbridge car this year, going to run a full season. We got Alexander Rossi in the Napa car that we're all used to and love. But also, adding on to that, we have AutoNation. Alexander Rossi is going to run a pink car this year. That was a part of his contract. To get that done was to get extra sponsorship from AutoNation. So they're going to split the races. Napa's going to run 9, including the Indy 500, of course. And AutoNation will pick up the remaining 7. We have Ryan Hunter-Reay next in the iconic, at this point, DHL Honda. Of course, you get the full Andretti Shield livery. It's the same as always, just different colors. Really, same thing we've seen, except for the AutoNation car, which I do enjoy that pink. Maybe not as much as some of the other pink cars, but that's a nice car. But we got the DHL car, looking good as always. Same car we've seen for a couple of years now, but like I said about the brand identity, you definitely can recognize that car. You know exactly who's driving it. every time. So now we have Colton Herta in the Capstone Honda. Still running the Dale Jr. number 88 font, by the way. He's going to be running this car at Coda, Texas, Richmond, Road America, Toronto, and Laguna Seca. So we actually won't be seeing this car at St. Petersburg or the Indy 500 for that matter, but we're still getting a diecast of it. Fun facts. But it's definitely a really good car. It's definitely one that sticks out in my mind. The white and green, and I believe there's a little bit of orange there. I love this car. It's better than the Pocono car that just had those neon green, orange numbers, and it's just a white car. It looks good because of the neon, but like, this looks way better. This is awesome. Then finally, for the Andretti Autosport stable, we have Marco Andretti in his US Concrete car. I'm definitely not complaining about the look of this car. I love an Andretti in a gray and red and white car. An Andretti in black and white cars like the Newman Haas days. That works for me. That is awesome. I love the color scheme of this car. It's very underrated because it doesn't get appreciated enough because it's not the front enough. We got Aero McLaren SP up next, one of the more controversial teams here because of some things that happen. But we have Patricio Award, or Pato Award, however you want to call him, and Marcus Ericsson. They're both in the Aero livery this year. And a lot of people love this car, this paint scheme, or livery. Keep going back and forth between paint scheme and livery. But I'm not the biggest fan of it, honestly. That orange and its matte finish without the kind of metallic color, I hope it has kind of like the sparkle metallic in it, because that's the papaya orange that I really love. And then the blue works with the orange, but it doesn't work with the orange and the black, to me at least. And then the numbers, I wish it was a solid number and not like the digital thing they're trying to do. They're doing this in F1 too, and I don't care for it in the F1 cars either, but like, yeah, I wish it was just a solid number and maybe just stick to one, black and orange or orange and blue. So next up, Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan. My favorite liveries on the grid. Honestly, this year they blew it out of the water. I wouldn't have said that the previous years. I thought the United Rentals cars previously were okay. But this car, with the chrome and the added red, ooh. Yeah, so we got Graham Rahal and the United Rentals Honda. My lord, that car is awesome with the chrome. They have like an Aero, both Sato and Rahal, the whole Rahal team, they have a Aero paint sponsorship, I believe, which allows them to get these chrome cars, just like Michael Schenck was able to do with his LMP2 programs when he'd run the chrome cars. Yeah, they're able to do that. Man, it just looks so good. This United Rentals car, man, they incorporated it so well with the Aero screen. That's not all for Graham this year. We have the FVP car, which is only running a Gateway, I believe. And then we haven't seen the livery yet, but he's also still running the Total car, I believe, at Long Beach, maybe more. But yeah, then the rest of the races, the United Rentals, FVP, and Total aren't picking up. We'll probably see a regular MyJack car, which if you didn't know, MyJack is actually co-owner of the team Mike Lanigan's company, so that's basically an unsponsored race for the team. But yeah, the FVP car, it's not as good as the United Rentals and the Sato livery, but it's a solid B. It's good. Takuma Sato in this MyJack car, he's technically not unsponsored. He's got the Panasonic and the Honda Japan funding that goes into him at any ride that he goes to. So yeah, this car is fantastic. It's been fantastic since 2018, and every year they just keep improving on it. This car is so good. Rahal Letterman knocked it out of the park this year. Speaking of knocking it out of the park, next up we got Ed Carpenter Racing in the Connor Daly USAF scheme or livery. My God, that car is amazing. We're back with the shark teeth on the front, or whatever, and we added red to it instead of blue, like was on the Andretti car. We had blue on it, now we have red. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Honestly, last year's car with the blue looked amazing. With the red, even better. Imagine this car with the red wall tires. And then we got the 21, the full-timer. Ed Connor Daly is just the road course guy. We haven't seen Ed Carpenter livery, but the full-timer. The rookie, Renus VK, and the Sonax car. I'm guessing we'll probably see a jumbo car at some point, maybe all orange. But yeah, this Sonax car, white, black, with a little bit of red, makes a perfect livery every time. Mark my words. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. It's so perfect. Not too much white. Not too bland. It's so good. This car is amazing. So Letterman, Lanigan, Ed Carpenter Racing. So far, those are the winners for me this year. They really won favorite liveries so far. Now we have Foyt Racing. They're changing it up a lot this year. We have the 4-car of Charlie Kimball, their full-time runner in the 4-car. We have the Tresiba car, which is the normal Tresiba car that we've seen every year. Also, that ABC Supply left the team, except for Tony Kanaan at the 500, I believe. I thought that they were coming back to sponsor two full-time cars. Well, not full-time, but Indy 500 entries. I thought both cars would be ABC the 500, but I guess Charlie Kimball is not, and he's going to have Rip Current on the car for the Indy 500, which is a blue and black car. Probably don't see enough blue at the Indy 500. I might be wrong, might just be thinking weird, but yeah, I don't think we see enough blue. So yeah, that's definitely a good change of pace. Now we have the 14 car, which is going to be various drivers between Sebastian Bourdais, Dalton Kellett, and Tony Kanaan. Bourdais doing around four races, I think. Kanaan doing 5, which is all the ovals, and then Kellett will be doing the rest. So far through testing, we've seen this Coyote red car, like the classic AJ Foyt red and black livery, which I hope we actually see at St. Pete. That'd be awesome to see. Another key note is Foyt's actually changed up their number font a bit this year to the classic number 14, since they don't have to fit with the ABC numbers. But this car is amazing. We've been told that we're going to see a Dalton Kellett car with whatever sponsor he has with like kind of like the blue or the turquoise, I guess you'd call it, and the black, like we saw with him for a few years now. And I guess that car is going to look amazing as well, but we haven't seen it yet. They've been hinting at a Tony Kanaan 711 car at some point, so I think he said all 5 races for him will have a different livery. So yeah, maybe we'll do an Indy 500 livery video if you guys enjoy this. But let's keep moving on here. We have Dale Coyne Racing. Santino Ferrucci taking over the 18 car. That was previously Sebastian Bourdais. He's running the Sealmaster car, which goes unchanged from last year for that livery. And what more can you say about this livery? It's been a fan favorite since it debuted in 2018. And to me, it's still really a fan favorite. It's going to be weird to see this car and not say Bourdais and know it's Santino. But yeah, it's definitely still a fan favorite, and I love it. Next, we got the 55 car of Alex Palou. This is an unsponsored car. This, of course, is Dale Coyne with Team Go, which is a Japanese team, and this car is unsponsored with the bright pink. It's definitely been a fan favorite to testing, and I would say that it's a really bold color scheme. Next up, we got Carlin, another to be decided or possibly a various entry with the 31. It's either going to be Felipe Nasr or Sete Camara, or they're going to split the drive, because Nasr might have IMSA duties to go for, and Sete Camara might fill in those races, or maybe they won't want to do ovals. We don't know yet. A very pretty blue, I might add. It's actually kind of sparkly metallic, and it's very nice in person. Next up, we got Max Chilton in the Gallagher car. This car will not be driven by Max Chilton in the other ovals outside the Indy 500, but still another fan favorite car. I at least think it was one of my very favorites. We got Meyershank Racing here, changing it up. I'm kind of glad they didn't go, since they have the Andretti Alliance, I'm glad that they didn't go with the Shield livery, which is what I was hoping they wouldn't do. I'd hoping they'd be their own thing, because Meyershank Racing is going full-time racing this year, and don't count them out. They have the Andretti dampers, they have the Andretti Alliance. Jack Harvey proved last year at the GP of Indy that he is a great driver. So this car, with more pink added to it, and the flat black, just mean look at it, Jack Harvey's coming for the competitors this year, and I'm so excited to be there next week to see it. So the last livery that we've seen, at least, we have the DragonSpeed car and the Evel Knievel type livery that DragonSpeed runs throughout their WEC, IMSA, IndyCar programs, everything. Very nice car, very underappreciated, like most of these go. And yeah, it's just a very nice livery. The only car that is going racing next week at St. Petersburg that we don't exactly know the livery for is the Dryan Reinbold car of Sage Karam, but that livery has gone unchanged for the last 2 years on the oval, so I would imagine that they're going to keep it the same. We have seen a flat black testing car, so maybe the livery will be changed up a bit. Maybe they won't paint the floors, but I'm going to predict that it's still going to be a beautiful yellow and black car, which we might be talking to Sage next week. Who knows? We're going to be doing a lot of things, which is why you should stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you'd like me to do more of these livery type videos throughout the season or during the Indy 500, just let me know down in the comments. I'm going to leave it open for discussion. What is your favorite livery going into the 2020 season? And also let me know who you think is going to win the 2020 St. Petersburg Grand Prix. This has been Race Nation TV. Subscribe for more content next week. I'm flying out literally a week from today for St. Petersburg, and I'll also be helping David Land as his video guy to help bring you the best motorsports content on YouTube. So this has been Race Nation TV, and I will see you in the next one.